Go. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy, and our other fucking guy is in the room on Friday morning. Wow. What a fast week. This is Leo behind the controls. Good morning, Leo.
Morning, brother. How are you doing today?
I am doing good. Just watching things fly by very, very quickly. Already, the month is just basically over, right?
February is supposed to be the shorter month, and it feels like this one's just as short,
right? And the other voice that you hear there is Mike. Good morning, Mike. How are you, buddy?
Good morning, sir. How you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good. We've got no plans yet for tonight or tomorrow.
Is that out of the norm for you?
Yes.
Oh, okay. So that's
we always have something going on, but for whatever reason, we're pushing back. We're doing our workouts, going home, relaxing.
Shoot, a lot of times having no plans is like my plans. So.
Something will pop up. We'll figure out something. We'll find dinner somewhere. Something will happen.
New restaurant, maybe?
I don't know about new. There's so many good ones. Yeah, so many good ones. You know, I'm kind of more of a creature of habit, though. I mean, I'll do new stuff for sure, like we did when Catch opened and everything. But, you know, I had been to Catch out in L.A., so, you know, that wasn't that new or something like that for me. But definitely creature of habit, and if I find something I like to repeat that simply because consistency, ease, you know,
absolutely.
I want to know what I can expect, and especially when we're dining out. So,
and it's like, as being a business owner, like, you know, a life full of unexpected things. So why not have something you could expect every once in a while?
Yeah, that's definitely true. So we might as well get started this morning. And the top story, at least for me, that I'm paying attention to is the Don Lemon story and how that's connected to the Minnesota riots. I don't think I really talked much about it after it really happened, or at least about Don Lemon and his role being there. But we did talk about the church a little bit and how it's just wrong. If you want to protest at a church, you should not be going inside pretending you're, you know, coming there as a newcomer and sitting in the pews and then just totally disrupt everything. That's and then intimidating kids, yelling at kids. You know, they always say how much they love kids, and now they don't really ever give a shit about kids. That just shouldn't happen. People should be arrested for that kind of thing. And a couple people were. I don't know that it's going to go anywhere. The people who those ugly women who kind of led that whole protest and going in there, they were released by the judge. I don't think they're any bond or anything on them. So I just, that's what happens, that even if people do get arrested, our justice system is really doing nothing with these people. And that's got something about that has to change as well. But you want to protest at a church, protest outside. Protest at a corner opposite the church. There's no reason that churches should be exempt, but there's no reason that you should be inside doing what these people did, and the disruption of a service and people worshiping. That's just as much our right as any other right that we have as Americans. And you don't have a right to infringe upon that. And even going back to COVID, it was infringed upon then too. And we allowed it, or a number of pastors did. And I lost all respect for pastors that did not push back against that whole COVID shit and the right for us to worship. I couldn't believe how many weak ass pastors there were. So that was my first indication. And then here, you know, when you allow something like this, the thing is they're likely to do it again and be emboldened by it.
Well, they definitely. We've already seen this happen. I mean, 2020, and then now. But it's just hilarious that you know, when the shoe's on the other foot, you know, they hone in on January 6th, like that one day.
One day.
And they'd never bring up, you know, weeks, months. I mean, if you add between what happened during the COVID area and all that, and then what's happening now, like we're talking probably almost a full year of them just obstructing and just making people's lives just more difficult. It's like people who aren't even involved trying to go to work. It's like you claim to be for the people, but yet you are hurting your own people. Like not physically, but you're stressing them out. You're making them late for work. Who knows? Maybe that could have been the tipping point. They got fired from their job that day because you wanted to fucking lay in the street. Like it's shit like that where they talk about, oh, humanity, common courtesy, you know, love thy neighbor, all that. But yet when it's their time to show that and set a good example, they're always choose violence. It's no, let's go to the streets. Let's fucking tear down all of our local businesses where we buy shit from.
And how many of those cases too have the local police been told to stand down or not do what most of us would consider to be their job in clearing the area or at least containing it to a particular area and keeping people safe?
Pretty much every case.
Yeah.
If not just every single case.
Yeah. That's a huge problem. That just has to end. And they're the ones that can end it. They're the ones that can end it.
Well, this whole issue, this whole protest, all of this commotion, whatever you want to call it, if you let the federal government come in and do what they are needing to do, and you don't obstruct them and constantly try to prevent them from doing their job, you're not going to have these confrontations. Like, play stupid games, win stupid prizes.
Yeah. So there was a story last night that I saw. I don't have it pulled up or here now, but there was a story last night that some TSA agents, you know, TSA, your airport people, you know, were out, like a group of them were out at a restaurant. And so they have all these groups now that try to identify government employees and then go where they're at to disrupt them, even in their, you know, private life. And they showed up at these restaurants. They thought they were ICE agents.
Really?
And here they were, these were TSA agents.
Good
and
Lord.
they were going, that's just out of control.
Yeah.
And you wonder why people wear masks and are worried about being doxxed. Well, that's exactly why. And look, we've seen over and over again, we've seen government people encourage people to do this. I mean, there's the one video with Maxine Waters where she's saying, you know, if you see these people out in public, if you see them at a gas station, you know, you should gather a group of people. You should get in their face. That's exactly what this is. And guess what? They made a mistake.
As they usually do.
Well, it just shows, too, that mistakes are made, that no matter how good you try to be, mistakes are made. Mistakes have been made on the side of agents or, you know, trying to arrest people. You can't arrest, you know, 1 million people, whatever their number is, 600,000, 1 million, whatever the number is, and not pick up a few people that you shouldn't have picked up. And the last number that we knew that was not very long ago was 170. So let's just say it's 200. But 200 out of all the arrests they made isn't really that bad of a number for the mistakes. And, it might have taken an hour, it might have taken 8 hours, it might have taken a day in some cases. But those people were not kept, they were released. That's just the people that were detained. But there's still this false story out there that we're, arresting American citizens, deporting American citizens, killing American citizens, and none of that is true. And they distort everything. They distorted the story of the 5-year-old boy who was left abandoned after his dad was pulled over, and the dad jumped out of the vehicle and took off, left the kid. And so the ICE agents took care of him. I think they took him to McDonald's or something. They got him some food.
That's more than most people would do.
And I believe, as I remember this recent story, at least at the time that she was contacted, the mother didn't want the kid.
Oh, that's nice.
And now the father and the kid got shipped down to Texas. But people are complaining about this kid being in captivity, the father wanted the kid. So, but here they bitch both ways. If they keep the kid away from the father and put him into some type of foster care or something, they're splitting up families. And again, if the father wants the kid, why shouldn't the kid be with him?
Yeah. And I have to imagine I would
it's
give
just both.
I would give the father the benefit of the doubt, saying that like when he took off, he just knew in the back of his head, like, ICE agents, federal government, whoever it was, they were going to take care of the kid. Like they weren't just going to leave him there. I would like to think that he at least had that in mind, not to, oh, fuck the kid, I'm
Right.
out. Like I hope and especially if the mom didn't want him, I hope that's not the case at all, because that fucking sucks for him.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, it's a shitty situation no matter what.
It's a shitty situation.
However you chop it up, like it doesn't, like either side, it sucks from start to finish.
But the blame is all on these ICE agents. The blame is that, this is wrong. This is what the kinds of things they're doing, or, they're arresting 5-year-old kids. They're not arresting the kid. They're just keeping the family together, which is what people said they wanted, right? You want them to keep the families together. You're keeping the family together. Deport the family together. It's just how it works. So there's no easy answers for some of this stuff. It's just going to be hard and uncomfortable, but necessary. That's kind of how I look at it. But this is the type of stories that keep getting repeated. And once we find out the facts of the story, we're like, oh, well, that makes sense. But most people didn't see that at that point. They just saw the initial reaction to the situation and based their emotional opinions, over that. That's what we're seeing. There's a lot of emotional opinions.
On like 30 seconds of information total.
Yeah. Just like I'll give you another good example. The recent thing, then we mentioned it the other day with Ilhan Omar, that she was sprayed with apple cider vinegar.
Yeah, I saw that. Is that like confirmed, or is that like, okay. Well, if that's the case, then it's definitely a setup.
Well, and you say that, and a lot of people said that, but when I first commented on that in some groups, I basically said this, like, we didn't know what was true and what wasn't true yet. It had just happened. My point of view at the beginning was, this can't happen, that we cannot be okay with this as conservatives, and that other conservatives can do this and cheer this on. And a lot of these things hadn't been confirmed yet. There's still a number of things that haven't been confirmed. But look, I get why people think that it was a setup, because when we mentioned it then too, like the setups that have happened at schools and colleges and and things like that. Or, somebody puts a noose in a tree and we find out it's actually a liberal putting the noose in the tree to try to stir shit up.
Yep.
Right. And this looked very, very odd.
Just their body language.
Some people
too.
believe that she nodded, which told him it was time to do it. And then afterwards, she didn't take a break. She didn't go to the hospital. She didn't wipe the stuff off. And then she was, shaking hands with people afterwards and being close to them. That's just like, all right, this is like some of the worst acting ever.
Yeah.
It's not good. And people aren't going to believe it. And they have every reason not to believe it, especially after I couldn't remember the name, but you did, Jussie Smollett.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, very much like that. And that we know that they're capable of those types of things. So that is a reasonable suspicion. Now, I want to see that stuff backed up. Like, I have fact-checked a number of things. There's a picture going around where it's more of a headshot of each of them, him on the right side, or on the left side if you're looking at the picture, and her on the right, that he worked for her husband's winery business. But that we have no proof of that being a thing yet.
That the guy that sprayed stuff? Okay.
And the picture of them, when I went through the fact checking, it was determined that was AI generated. So, but it doesn't help our case, just like when liberals do it, to put that kind of stuff out there that's not true. It does not help our case. And that's why I don't want people to do it or jump to those kind of conclusions, because once people start questioning that, then they're going to question everything. So you don't want to lie. We don't need fake news to prove our points about these people. Use the truth. Use the truth. And we're not always doing that. But yeah, that's.
So the issue with that too now is it's not about who has the first correct headline. It's whoever has the first headline. And you said, yeah, we should always wait for the truth, but that's the issue. The truth is never as quick as they want it to be. It takes time, however long it is. So they don't want to wait for a story 6 months from now. They want a story right now, whether it's right or wrong. And it's not like back in the day, you put out a newspaper article, it's out there printed. Like you can't go there. Now you can just go in, make adjustments or updates and things like that. And it's like, it almost in a way exonerates them from like being, we were just reporting all of the information we had at the time. And it's like, yeah, but you also knew that it wasn't 100% credible for the most part.
Yeah. And nobody's really in the mainstream media questioning any of this. I mean, of all things, so you were just looking for a little fake attention. That's why you used something that was just a smelly liquid,
and
kind of.
And she gets enough attention as is, not for good reasons, but she gets plenty of attention.
Yeah, and just he was in the front row. How did he get in the front row? How the whole thing was set up, and usually the internet's a motherfucker and figure shit out. And I hope they do on this and verify some things, find a connection somehow between him and Ilhan Omar.
Is there some sort of significance to apple cider vinegar for those who don't think it was a legitimate thing? Like, is it like something against her religion, or like is there like an allergic property? Like, I don't understand why out of all things.
No, actually, it's like a healthy thing that some people do on a daily basis, like a tablespoon or whatever.
I love apple cider.
Yeah, it's the vinegar.
Well, yeah, it's a little bit more. Yeah, that one's more potent. But I'm wondering, maybe like, I don't know, if from the side of it's a setup idea, I guess you could say it's smelly enough to where it's potent enough to have people, they
in
can,
the room. Oh, I smelled something that just wasn't right.
And it's like, I don't know. From the second we watched that video to this day, like the body language, the way that everybody reacted, how she reacted immediately after she was charging at him, and he was
defiant, and
he was like cowering as if she was gonna like stomp him into the ground. It's like, what is going on here? Like, it's just like a bad movie.
But their playbook is Trump.
Yeah,
because they believe that Trump getting shot in the ear was fake.
Yeah, let's just get
So
shot
just
at. That's
being
fun.
defiant, yeah. So it's like that, just being defiant and going after the person. Yeah, well, there's a big difference that, you know, I can't even deal with somebody who thinks that was a setup.
Someone else, didn't 2 people die as well?
Yes.
Like, why would he want his own supporters to
Dude,
die?
I don't care how good a shot you are,
Like,
to try to shoot somebody and hit them but not hurt them, and for that to be in the face area.
yeah,
I'm sorry, there's not shooters that are there that good.
no, especially when as he's moving, like the idea that he's willingly going to let a bullet come that close.
Dude,
to
you're
his head,
going center mass.
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's ridiculous. I would never. I'd be like, aren't there? If it was a setup, I'd be like, isn't there anything else we could do besides shooting at my head? Like,
Yeah,
or
right?
possibly killing other people. Like, let's use our brains here.
Yeah, just it's crazy. But that's how they think. They're just so off the charts in this. I don't. I do my best to try to understand it, but holy fuck.
You're just wasting your time.
Yeah. So let's, we do have the video of Alex Pretti 11 days prior to his being shot. And this peaceful protester, supporter of immigrants, and this hero that they're trying to label him as. Here's what he has been doing prior to that situation that got him killed. I don't know. I guess not.
They caught this dude in 4K like this? Like, I mean, nothing more he was literally the only person in there for like 30 seconds.
Arrived around 10:15 a.m. We saw observers shouting at the agents as they walked back to their vehicles. When they started driving away, the man kicked their taillight. An agent then got out of the vehicle, grabbed him, and pushed him to the ground.
The collective screams in the background telling them to stop.
During the altercation, agents fired tear gas and pepper balls into the crowd.
Good.
They continued to hold the man down before they retreat, and he walks away. The man in our footage is wearing a similar outfit to what Pretti was wearing on the day he was killed. What appears to be a gun is also visible above his waistband. Here, he continues to stand at the scene. On the day he was killed, the Department of Homeland Security claims Pretti, a 37-year-old ICU nurse, approached officers holding a handgun. That claim has been contradicted by analysis of bystander videos from multiple news investigations, which concluded that Pretti was holding a phone, not a gun, when he was pinned to the street.
These people are fucking lunatics.
Uh-huh.
Like, this is mental illness to a different degree.
Shortly after the altercation we filmed here on January 13th, federal agents drove away. Soon after that, we left the scene.
There you go.
They deserved everything that happened to them. Every single thing.
Yeah, so the question is, it's two separate events, But it does kind of give you a little bit of an idea of who this guy was, more of who this guy was, and what he was trying to accomplish, and that he was going out there to be aggressive and be confrontational. He wanted these contacts with ICE, and then one went too far, and he ends up dead over it.
Well, they're like that whole video. There's so many things that I question, but also just hate seeing. Is the fact that the very beginning, ICE is leaving. They're in the car leaving, and that's when they want to get as bold as possible, is when they're leaving. And now they're kicking in the taillights, throwing stuff at him, everything like that. And then as soon as you have to face the consequences for your actions, you want to fucking scream and tell him, fuck you. Oh, let go of him. Let go of him. It's like, if you do that to just a regular cop and you just kick their taillights out, like, what do you expect to happen? That's a federal agent. Like, what do you
Destruction of property.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, doesn't matter who it is. Like, you can't just kick taillights out and be like, oh, well, it's okay. It's an ICE agent. They won't mind. Like, no.
But the problem is they're nobody's being arrested. And that's typically not their job, is to handle that type of crowd control. That's I mean, they can do it, but that's not really what they're for. And the problem is not having the local law enforcement there to do its job in this case, to stop this from happening in the first place, or if it does happen, to absolutely arrest them. That's what they should be doing. That has, just because you might be against enforcing the law, which is to enforce our immigration laws and to deport people, even if you're, against that. You just want people to stand down and not follow the laws, because that's what the other side wants. They either want that, or they need to change the laws. But for the most part, what they've done, or at least they've done in the recent past and done under Biden, is they just ignored what laws were on the books and just didn't enforce them.
Yeah.
And now they're being forced to enforce them. And this has to do, I don't know why this hasn't reached the Supreme Court prior to this. In what world should sanctuary cities or sanctuary states be a thing inside the United States?
None.
And I'm all for states' rights. I'm old school conservative, but damn, you don't have a right to do that.
Well, sanctuary cities, I don't understand how they haven't seen what's going on in the UK. When you just pretty much just allow whatever and anything to come through, and now it's just pure fucking chaos over there because it's not even their government. Their own people are sick of it, and so they're like, well, government's not going to do it. Guess we got to fucking do it. Yeah. And now it's gotten way past repair back there. Like, I don't know how moving forward, how anything's going to go back to normal, but not my problem.
Yeah. I don't know. But this has all been escalating. I listened to the Tom Homan press conference yesterday, the whole thing. It's not terribly long. It's probably a little less than 30 minutes. He did take a number of questions. But I heard, honestly, I mean, his tone was very low and steady, but very fatherly tone of, this is what's right, this is what's going to be done. But he said the same things I've heard him say over and over and over again. And it's just trying to coerce or to get these people, the governors and the mayors, to agree that hold the prisoners, because he said it again and again, and he said it from day one of Trump's second term, that if you work with us, when you have someone, we will come and get that someone out of the jail, and I don't need to bring a shit ton of people. But if you don't work with us and you release that person and I have to go find that person out in the community, I got to use more people. And that's what's causing the issue. So, if these people really believe in due process, then they can initiate the due process. They can turn these people over as they should, but they don't because they're sanctuary cities. They've encouraged people to come there, to their cities, to their states. They've encouraged these people to sign up and get benefits that they really shouldn't qualify for, that kind of a thing. But Tom Homan said the same thing. Yeah, we prioritize. Here's what it means when we prioritize the criminals. Here's what it means, that we're coming after that person. But again, if he's hanging around 3 or 4 other people, we're going to ask them about their status. And when we do, and some of them are, we find that some of them are illegal, but have committed no other additional crimes, it doesn't matter. We're still going to take them into custody too and arrest them and deport them, because that's the mission. The mission is to, prioritize the high risk, but the mission is to deport them all.
Yeah.
And that's what I voted for. I voted for deporting them all. But if they want at least more of a focus to be on the bad guys and fewer good guys out in the streets, if that's what they really want, then they would be turning over these bad guys. And they just haven't. And so he's just repeating it again.
Yeah. Well, it's like,
it's what it takes.
It's like you said. I mean, we've talked about it multiple times just in the time that I've started working here, and it's like they only want to do the opposite of what you want. It's just for something in any way. Like, even if you're doing something good, they want to paint it bad. That way, you don't have any credit, anything that you can carry into that election year coming up.
Right.
It's not about you said it multiple times. It's not about the immigrants. It's not about the people. It's not about anything else other than, we don't like Trump. We're specifically doing this to go against Trump. Mm-hmm. And as soon as, if Trump weren't, I fully believe that if Kamala was in here and she was doing the exact same shit, I wouldn't have an issue with her deporting. And I don't think they would either, like the Democrats. So it's like, I don't really give a shit who's doing it as long as they're following through on their word and doing what we voted for. And that's why Trump's in office, because he's following through on his word.
Well, when we've gone back to the videotapes of what Obama said when he was president and what he actually carried out, and when he was questioned about it by people who are, for immigrant rights or however you want to label them, he talked like a Republican. There's no Republican that listens to that and says, oh, I don't want that. No, that's what we wanted. Then that's what Obama was doing, and that's what Trump is doing, and you guys just hate it because it's Trump. But those are the same people that said absolutely nothing when Obama did the exact thing. And also expanded ICE.
Yeah, by a lot. Yeah. And it's like
by a lot.
The main one of the big differences too, it's like Obama and pretty much everybody previous to Trump, they all did it behind closed doors. He's the only one. That's the thing I think is the most shocking factor, is that we become so conditioned to where if a politician doesn't do what they say once they said they would, once they get in the office, we're okay with that. Like, we're used to it. But when they follow through with exactly what they said, we're like, holy shit, what the hell's going on here? And I think it's like, in a way, like a culture shock for some people. And that's why they just have this, they're just so shocked by everything that Trump does. It's like, yeah, he actually did what he said he was going to do. He's not all smoke and mirrors. The only time he's smoke and mirrors is when he's playing those mind games and he's seeing something in the long game. Like the other day, I saw it was like an ad for the Daily Show with Jon Stewart, yeah, and they were talking about, oh yeah, we're going to take over. How Trump said we're going to take over Greenland and we won't have Russia or China as neighbors, and they were making fun of him in the immediate sense that, geographically, yeah, it doesn't make sense. But I was like, you're not understanding what he's actually saying. Like, he's actually saying, we're going to take Greenland and then we're going to fuck up Russia and China too. Like, in the most subtle, like, professional way possible. But I don't think he wants it to get that far, but basically saying, if anything happens, we're fucking them up. And the greatest quote ever was when he was talking to that terrorist leader. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but they asked him. He basically told him, he's like, I have a picture of your house right now, like where you're at. He's like, you're not going to tell me like this is how this is going to go. And the federal, I think it was the Secret Service agent that tells the story of it. We should watch that video one day. It's an incredible retelling because this dude was like genuinely amazed at the balls on Trump because he's talking to this dude like he's just a little bitch, basically treating him like a little bitch. And he was like, damn, all right. So it's like, I think the people that are direct, like immediately around Trump, they respect him and they know like who he, like at the end of the day, what his end goal is. Trump just has that. He's just almost like Reagan. He's just not your traditional politician. Reagan was an actor at first. So it's like this dude was on TV constantly. He had an ego. He loved to pump himself up, and people don't like that. But I think that's why. I think that's the only reason he's in office today is because of that charisma he has.
And we do want. We have seen him do a number of things. What the things that we've been not getting, like the people in handcuffs. Now we got Don Lemon.
Yep.
I mean, and I can tell you on the conservative, on the Republican side, that's what they want to see. They want to start seeing people being held accountable. They want to see people being arrested like they were doing. It's not as retribution. Retribution to me would be if Trump went after somebody for like really something in the past, where in these cases, he's looking at something that person did currently that wasn't it. So it's not just like this bad retribution thing and he shouldn't do it. Well, they shouldn't have done it to him. But
so he could. He could.
Yeah. But what he is doing is going forward, people who, commit these criminal offenses, that they're being put in cuffs and taken in, that they're going to go through the process. Now, maybe he'll be convicted, maybe he won't. But what we want to see, what I want to see is I want to see that process play out. I want to know that the legal system is moving back towards that the law applies to everyone and is not different for people like Don Lemon.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kind of a thing, and that's what it has seemed like. It's different for some people.
Are they still moving forward? I can't remember her name off the top of my head either right now, but the lawyer that they arrested, the female lawyer, I can't remember her name.
Letitia James?
Yes, I think that's who it was.
Over the housing stuff?
Or no. She was there. She was part of the church protests. I'm trying to remember her in Minnesota. I'm trying to remember her name. It was honestly, it's kind of funny, but the White House put out like a picture, like an AI altered photo of her of her crying as she's like cuffed leaving the area, and people were pissed. But they were the ones that said it was AI, so it's like whatever. But yeah, I would love to. I can't think of her name right now. I'm drawing a blank, but I remember she was like, everybody was pissed off that she was in cuffs, but she's a lawyer. Like, if anything, like if they're singling her out, it's because she's supposed to be held to a higher standard. She's supposed to be enforcing the law regardless of what your beliefs are. And it's like, yeah, she knows the difference between right and wrong. She just thinks that she can play that line. And we're seeing that, no, we're not going to fucking play this game. That's how it is.
That's just how it is. And that's what we want to see. We want to see something done to these people that keep and continually interfere. Because if something is not done soon enough, then we get the kind of situations we had here. Because it's pretty fair to say that if Alex Pretti had been arrested, the chances, now maybe he went right back to doing what he was doing, but at least it had been a second thought in his head. But I personally believe that if he had been arrested, it's less likely the second incident would have happened, that he realized there is consequences. And then when you start getting arrested for, the same thing over and over again, eventually judges get tired of seeing you. I don't care.
Yeah, and then they're gonna start giving you harsher and harsher sentences. I have friends and family members who have told me that multiple times. So like, the more they see you, the less they want to see you.
Yeah,
and the more pissed off they're gonna be. I'm trying to look up the name of that female lawyer that was arrested. Oh, Nakima Levy Armstrong.
Yes. Okay.
That's who it was.
Mhm.
And yeah,
She's kind of a fake ass lawyer.
yeah.
If you see, because she's the one that was the head of some nonprofit too, right?
I'm actually not 100%. I'm not gonna say for sure, but
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised judging by the rest of her actions. But it's still the fact that she even has like the word lawyer next to her name. You know what
Right.
the hell you're doing.
And moving on, we're also facing another shutdown, government shutdown. I hope it doesn't last long because this can still affect. It can only affect the 6 departments that this bill was supposed to fund. So it's not going to be a whole government shutdown like the last time, but it would still include military people not getting their paychecks, and that just would be a bad thing.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm over that. Trump thought it was bad enough that he tried to make a deal with Chuck Schumer, and they had a little bit of a deal where they're going to fund 5 of the 6 things, but keep the DHS funding out for a couple weeks and continue to negotiate on that. But there are other Republicans that are like, that's bullshit. This is not a good deal. And it looks like the plans for a bipartisan agreement here in the short term are going to maybe fall flat. So we'll have to watch and see what effect that has. That does, it's going to affect the economy. It's always going to have some type of an effect. And I think we're going to, just like we're going to see, in the numbers when they come out for the third quarter, when the second quarter number comes out in the third quarter, that we're going to see like this snow, the weather that we've had, that's going to affect it. People are not out shopping and doing things for a week in 40 some states.
Yeah. 8 to 12 inches of snow and shit like that.
Yeah. Now, hopefully they're at home buying off of Amazon, but
Amazon workers. Hope they're getting extra pay.
Yeah. Well, the packages are just being delayed, but yeah, it's definitely going to have a hit on the economy. And even if it doesn't hit your economy or mine, which it likely won't, at least for mine, people have their personal economies. And some people's personal economies are going to be taking a hit like for this again. I just kind of fall on the side that this was all agreed to prior to the Alex Pretti shooting, but then the radicals are holding their counterparts, their less than radical senators. I just think there's just a whole slew of people on the left that they're radical. The percentage of people that are radical on the left is way larger than it's ever been before. And the pressure is been put on them by these groups that you're not doing enough to fight Trump. All they want is these guys to do anything that is anti-Trump. And this is one of those things. But as politicians, they're smart enough to know, just like Fetterman was smart enough to know that these shutdowns are not good for either party, and they're surely not good for America. And even for Trump, he was willing to compromise because he doesn't like the shutdowns.
Yeah.
He didn't like the last one, but this one is as well. So hopefully it will, the House is out until next week. So hopefully sometime early next week, depending on what the weather is, which I think places like North Carolina and South Carolina are all supposed to get slammed again.
Really?
Something like that. Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It's been a harsh winter.
Yeah.
It's been a minute since we've had some rough winters.
Yeah, something like this.
Like that from when I was back in Ohio. We had a number of what we considered to be pretty mild winters. And, we had snowfall, of course, but nothing serious where it was different when I was a kid. It just felt like we got much more.
Yeah. Things weren't flying off the
Benefit.
shelves like toilet paper and everything like that. Like you walk into a grocery store, people are sending me pictures. It looks abandoned. Like
Yeah.
nobody works there.
Yeah, and my dad just said the same thing to me. So yeah, not good for the economy for sure, and we don't need that. We because I think we have a great chance of the economy improving to such an extent with the policies that have been in place that can be very good for our side when it comes up for elections, because it is an uphill battle. You know, I guess in like the last 60 years or so, something like that, it's been a long time that only 3 times has the president in power kept control after midterms.
Really?
Yeah.
I
Everybody
actually did not know that.
Yeah. No matter how good or how well liked, I mean, same thing happened to Obama. No matter how much he won by or how well he was liked, he lost in the midterms. So that's not a way we can get the things done that we need to get done, because these executive orders are not enough. We need time for these Republicans to do the right thing and codify a lot of this into law. That's what we need, and that hasn't happened yet.
The timing is impeccable. I mean, like you said, we're really like in that stretch, that almost like that turning point, like you said, the economy, and all of a sudden there is a government shutdown in which the two sides can't agree.
Yep.
And you know, right, like you said, midterms coming up and everything. It's just too convenient. You know, I no longer believe in coincidences. You know, so when I see stuff like that, I automatically just see what the true agenda is behind, like what they're thinking. Just to double back real quick on the shutdown. So out of curiosity, if say it's like a veteran or pretty much anybody that needs medical attention, are they not able to receive that medical help, or does those government like offices and everything like stay open to help them? Because I know like when it comes to pay, like they're getting delayed, but are they still actually out there in the field like working?
Well, I think they're allowed. If I'd have to see if they're.
That's a good question,
Yeah.
because I've actually never, like, I always knew what a government shutdown was. I knew it had to do with pay, but in terms of like what people actually do in those times that, you know, are affected by it, I never understood. Do they work, or do they just like, hey, F this, I'm not getting paid? Like, I'd have to imagine there's some good Samaritans out there.
If the government shuts down again, will veterans still have access to health care at the VA? Did it not do it?
Which one is that?
Was
Hey
check.
there. If you can give me just a little more context on what you're looking at or referring to, I'll be happy to help figure out which one it is. Just let me know.
Yep. My question is, if the government is shut down again, will veterans still have access to the VA and health care?
Absolutely. So, in case the government shuts down, core VA healthcare services will still continue as normal. That means veterans can still access their medical care, get their benefits, and use things like the Veterans Crisis Line. However, some non-essential services might slow down or get delayed, but the big picture is that your main healthcare access should be just fine.
Well,
There we go.
now we have an answer. Google, sponsor us. Right there. We used it.
What did they say different? I had chat.
Oh, that was ChatGPT?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad. Sorry. I thought that was Google's Gemini
That's
or
the
whatever.
other one. Yeah. I got 3.
Actually, there's a lot that
There's a lot of them out there.
you would think that all of them would kind of be like the same, but they actually, a lot of them serve different purposes.
Yeah.
Like There's some that are like really good at writing, and then
Specific things.
Yeah, and
yes,
then-
they do.
ChatGPT seems like it's a little bit too personal for me. Like tries too hard to relate, and I don't like that sometimes. Google's pretty good because it has like, I mean, they have Google and YouTube. The amount of information that they're
Yeah.
able to pull is unrivaled.
But yeah, Google same thing.
Oh, yep, right there.
Pretty
Brings-
much everything is good to go except a very small amount. So
I
but
guess I
yeah,
could
it's
ask
going to
my
be
grandpa.
more it's going to be more paychecks, but that's a good question. And it's great that we can search and find those answers pretty quickly.
Yeah, in real time.
In real time.
Now you
Yeah.
now you understand why people are so damn impatient these days. I guess
Well, a lot of people don't even take the time to even
look it up.
look it up, man.
Yeah. Why not when the information is put in your face?
Right. And the one thing that I did notice that it was only later in the article was it put in there, but earmarks are basically a lot of times pork projects that are added to these bills that have nothing to do with the funding or the bills themselves, right? It's just somebody wants to get money for some kind of project and they tag it on there.
Yep.
And I think some of the conservatives in the House, anyways, are concerned that this bill that was going to pass with bipartisan support had pork in it from both sides. But you don't really hear hardly any talk about that at all.
Yeah, I mean
Zero.
it's kind of commonplace in a lot of these bills. Like they'll
Right,
have-
but it's supposed to, we're supposed to be, we're the ones in charge that we want to see some results from that kind of stuff, and that kind of stuff not
Yeah.
happen anymore,
Yeah.
or that the budget, show that the budget matters, show that the debt matters, and that you guys get it. And that's my complaint about the whole fucking group of them. Stop. We don't have the money. We don't have the money. And just adding things on, these are things that, yeah, it'd be nice. It'd be great if we could do it. We can't do it. Be nice, but we can't.
what Doja covered was kind of something that a lot of people expected, but at the same time, it doesn't make it any less shocking. Just to see like that's our money going to bullshit. All these NGOs that are supposed to be helping and they're not. They're just funneling money for
Right.
whatever the fuck they want to do. And it's like, regardless if you're on your left, right, whatever, like that's your money. We all work for it. Like, why the hell would you want to see it sent overseas and then just come to find out? Like, I'm not okay with it going overseas in the first place, but then you find out it's going
Exactly.
overseas and it's being used for personal gain or some sort of war crime, whatever the fuck it is. And it's like, why are you not upset about that? Why are more people not like? Why are we not putting as much energy into that as we are into these ICE protests? Like that's literally affects everybody.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just smoke and mirrors. Our priorities.
It's like
are
it
all
came
over
and
the
it went.
Yeah, it's like I don't understand half the shit that goes on these days. But when we have something so agreed upon, but yet so ignored at the same time, it almost contradicts everything else that we do. Like we all agree on how important money is. Oh, but it's not that important if I have to go out and protest for it. Like, and then the ICE protests, like everything that's going on with that, like that's costing you money too. Like everything is like this shit isn't free. Like shit just it doesn't appear out of nowhere.
I couldn't agree more. All right. There's our political topics for today. One little last thing I just thought I'd share. Dawn and I usually share when we watch different series on Netflix or Paramount, and we had just finished Landman, and we recommend Landman to those that haven't watched it. Leo started watching it, and especially that first series and the first couple of episodes, it definitely sucks you in. Pretty good, because that's where he's taken by the cartel and gets fucked up pretty good.
Oh, so I didn't even know. So I don't really know too much about the show. I didn't even know that's how it tied in, like with everything.
Oh yeah,
That's crazy.
yeah. There's a big tie-in because of the landing areas, or they're, landing their drug planes, and they kind of let them do that. And there's, I don't want to ruin it. It's good. It's a great show. It in the second season, it kind of goes off the rails a little bit in focusing on the hot mom and the hot daughter.
Oh,
and you, no, I mean, really, you kind of don't care that it does a little bit, but you're like, oh yeah, this isn't really what this show is about. But it finished strong, and looks like season 3 is going to be really, really excellent. But, and then like we had finished Mayor of Kingston, and that took me forever to get through, like a couple of years. Like I would start it and then not be able to continue it. You just have to get about 4 shows into Mayor of Kingston, and then you're good.
I have heard it's good.
Yeah, it is good, but you have to get into it a little bit. This, like the beginning ones, for whatever reason, I just struggled getting into it. But the latest thing Dawn and I came up with is watching 007 movies. So we looked it up and we went back, and so we got a list of the movies in order, and we're watching the whole franchise. Why did I thought I had this motherfucking shit off? There we go. Yeah, we've the franchise from the beginning, and the very first one was done in 1962, and it's almost like in the first 2, especially first 2 movies. We're halfway through the third, which is Goldfinger, but in the first 2, it's like he's more of a detective or a captain. He's more of a police department kind of guy, it seems like, than a secret agent, where now in the third it's sliding more into the secret agent part. And when they fight, it's so funny that there's very little like back and forth. Like the fights we see today in action are really good.
Yeah.
Like you see the 2 dudes beat each other the fuck up, right?
Yeah.
That's not how they did it in old movies.
Yeah.
Like one hit, one kick, you're down
done.
and you're like out. And it's like, oh my God. Or the best part, so it must have been in the second movie. There's this scene where they're in this car and they're coming around a mountain or a curve, right?
Yeah.
And then it shows them in the car, which is the fakest shit you've ever seen.
Yeah.
It's the
With
old
like
school fake where you
like
have
they're
something,
stationary and
they're stationary and it's running
Yeah.
behind you, kind of thing. Well, every time it goes pulls back to the road and not the car, it keeps showing the same curve.
Yeah.
They go over it and over it. So. And then women. Like, I would so love to watch this with a group of feminists. They would
Pure
just
rage bait.
to see them flip the fuck out, dude.
24/7, yeah.
Oh my God. Because the dynamic between men and women, and the fact that he's such a man whore.
Yeah.
Literally.
It's like that's like half of his persona.
Oh, yeah. And, I think this was in Goldfinger. So this was last night in the first half of it watching, where he's talking to another guy and the chick is there and he basically sends her away.
Yeah.
Like the men have to talk.
Oh.
And slaps her on the ass and sends her away.
Jeez.
And she just goes, oh my God.
Just another day at the office.
And he done that a couple times. And there in the second movie, there's a scene where like he's almost like interrogating her and he slaps her across the face, dude.
Jesus.
Like smokes her.
I've seen like most of
I'm
them.
like, oh.
I just don't remember. I don't remember that part. It's
like,
been a while,
oh,
but
like, oh boy.
I've
it just shows how much things
I was gonna say like
change. It's worth it for that. Just you'll laugh.
I would say from
stuff
somebody
that was
like,
not meant funny.
From my perspective of like somebody who didn't grow up in those times and then seeing it happen like on film back in the day and then knowing how things are now, like I can't. I honestly I burst out laughing when because like you can't fathom seeing something like that nowadays. But back then it was just like that's just another scene. Whatever
it's
it
just
is.
another scene.
Who's your favorite Bond? Who do you think's the best Bond?
I always kind of favored Sean Connery.
Yeah.
I did, you know, even though his stuff is the early stuff. I don't know. I just liked him. And then that's funny too. I don't know. I didn't notice it in the first one, but the second and the third, when they show him, dude is hairy as fuck.
Oh
man.
yeah, Sean Connery.
Like
Yeah.
he's super hairy. And I know what that's about. I've been shaving for decades now.
Yeah.
But I was hairy like that. Like even on my shoulders and arms, which used to bug the fuck out of me.
Yeah.
You know, like, oh, that just hair like that makes my skin crawl. But
So, yeah, I mean, I deal with that. So I kind of wish they would like bring that back. They're like, hey, hairy men, we love you. You're perfect as you are.
Yeah. Once you get rid of it, yeah, you like not having it.
But it's
a
like-
different thing.
I had to start with the head, start shaving my head. Like it's probably been closer to 2 years now.
Yeah.
But like committing, like one of the reasons I didn't commit to that as soon as I should is because I was like, I'm gonna have to do this 3-4 times a week. Like,
Oh yeah.
and I have to keep up with it. And then adding body hair on top of that, I can't even imagine like how much time
it's
I'm
work.
spending.
Yeah, it's work. Because the whole laser shit,
Yeah.
you'd have to do the problem is the cost. If it worked for the cost one time, it'd be great. But you might need 4 to 6 different
Yeah,
of those
I
same
mean-
treatments for that to happen. So
Yeah.
that I've tried every other way, and in fact, ways you shouldn't try, like Nair, and like
Yeah.
I've literally tried everything.
You'll never forget that smell.
Or you know, getting waxed. I mean, and the cost of that and how long that lasts. Your best bet is you find a good woman that'll do it for you.
or she
and
enjoys
a razor.
Yeah, or she enjoys the body hair.
Yeah.
If she happens to. So, but Nair, you'll never forget that smell.
No,
One
not
time.
only that, the redness you get
Yes,
from it,
and
like
the
it's
feel- like-
oh, it's awful.
I did it one time, and it was when I was younger. I was kind of getting made fun of because I was starting to get some body hair a lot quicker than my friends.
Uh-huh.
And I got like, I forget who bought it for me. I think it was my grandma or someone, but I bought Nair and I put it on my body, and like 5 minutes into this, I'm like, shit, I might have made a bad
Decision.
I was like, the way it smells, the way it's making my skin feel right now, like I can't. I was like, this probably isn't supposed to go on like, you know, a 14-year-old's body. Like,
Probably
like,
not.
he's already got enough stuff going on. Like he had thrown all these fucking chemicals that are like melting him essentially, and it's like his hormones are going fucking nuts.
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good. But the whole Bond thing is kind of funny. So we're gonna continue on because you know our football season is over.
Yeah.
So we're like, what do we do? You
Yes,
know?
we got to fill that Sunday time in somewhere.
Yeah. So we'll talk about the Super Bowl next week, and wish you all to have a really great weekend. You know, take some time away from all this news and all the shit that's going on, and just spend some good time with some friends, with your woman, with your family. Enjoy them. Time is short. Make the most of it. This is the Outlaw Apostle Podcast. I'm your host, Troy Neff. I'm the fucking guy.